Hi Aries, this is a general reading for any sun, moon, or rising Aries. We're going to take a look at the cards. We'll get a sense of the big ideas or awareness for the week, guidance, and possible outcomes. I will also choose a few cards for oracle cards for additional information. So let's just go ahead and get started with your reading. The High Lady of Love and Compassion, Reverence, Kindness, and Consideration. So I really love the word reverence, and I think it's something that we don't use as often as we should, and that is to have the utmost respect and the best intentions toward either people, careers, community, whatever it may be. And it's something that I think about because I have such reverence for tarot and for oracle cards and for the process of self-help and self-growth and self-awareness through using a system like this and through channeling your energies. So to have reverence, I think, is one of the most important aspects. It's really to have the most utmost respect for whatever it may be. It may be for your garden, it may be for the music that you create, it may be reverence for the beautiful relationships that you have with friends, and kindness and consideration. To treat others kindly. And it's just not a one-off kind of thing, but to be consistently kind and to be consistently considerate of others. It's freeing to yourself because you know that you're doing what you should be doing in the world, which is to be thinking of others and to be aware of others' plights and whether they're going through difficult times, and to show extra consideration or gentleness or humanity. And particularly in light of what happened with Hurricane Harvey in Houston, to have kindness and to show kindness to those who are highly impacted and lives are changed. And quickly they changed. And so it's really, I think it's the groundwork for living a very spiritually powerful life, which is to be someone who always practices kindness and consideration. Now, there are times when we're upset, we lose our temper, we say things that are not kind, we say things that are not considerate, and that can be hurtful. And, that's part of the package of being human. And I think, you just have to acknowledge it and apologize and try to get back to a place where kindness and consideration is your highest level of how you interact. And it's not only interacting with people, it's interacting with animals, it's interacting with our environment and our natural resources. But it's to be good to others and to be aware of it and to try to limit and minimize the negativity or the nastiness, frankly. It's it is mind-boggling sometimes that some people are really can be very unpleasant and can be very entitled and demanding. And so when you come from a place of having reverence for life and having the utmost respect for life, and when you have a heart that shows kindness and consideration most of the time to others, and again, it's the law of attraction of what you set out into the universe will come back to you tenfold. And part of your karmic picture. So a beautiful message, the High Lady of Love and Compassion. to show compassion. And, you know, just that when I think of the word compassion, I think of those who are struggling with illness, who struggle with life daily, to show compassion for them, to be aware of what they're going through and to try to be empathetic and to think about how they're feeling. And sometimes it's the word that you use that you really probably didn't mean to say, and it can affect someone. So be careful with how you choose your words as well. Okay, so let's take a look at the spiritual self. And this is also emotional self, what's going on below. You know, what's coming in from our environment and from life. Okay. Self-sabotage. When you learn to get out of your own way, there will be no stopping you. Most of the time, it's not others who prevent you from achieving your true goals. It's that inner voice that derails those carefully woven plans. Such a powerful and true card, because our limiting beliefs and our lack of confidence sometimes really impact us in probably ways that we're not even aware of. And the self-sabotage, you know, it's the little voice in your head that's saying, yeah, I would like to do that, but I'm not very good. I'm not going to try that. Or I'm afraid of looking silly. And I can think of some of my friends who want to take like dance lessons. And they'll think about it and then they choose not to because it's like, oh, well, you know, I really don't know how to dance. I'm such a bad dancer and I'll embarrass myself. And it's that old expression, dance like no one's watching. I mean, who cares what other people, you know, if they're going to be judgmental to you while you're dancing, then skip. But I think we find ways to talk ourselves out of things. And it's stifling. And it's a bit of a soul crush as well. And so the self-sabotage is, I think that's great, you know, to learn to get out of your own way. And maybe that involves talking to some of your close friends, talking to family, talking through your process, and hopefully you get positive and affirmative feedback to say, you know, if you want to do that, go do it. You know, don't worry about the outcome. Go through the process and find out more about yourself. And so self-sabotage, and you know, everybody has gone through this, because I just think it's the creeping doubt that comes into us that just says you really can't do that, or maybe not such a good idea. And so how do we find ways to get out of that? We have to do things that satisfy our heart and that satisfy your heart, and that don't let the other folks in your environment influence you. I think that's maybe one small step to take when it comes to trying to minimize and trying to reduce self-sabotage. Interesting. So let's take a look at what's going on with body for the week. What messages do we have that can help us center our body and get our body in balance? Improving health. Thank you for your comforting reassurance about the situation. So it's a matter of prayer, of reflection, of meditation, of taking the steps necessary for you to get to a healthier place, to recover. If you're recovering from an injury, if you've been running 12 miles a day for the entire month and your heel is bothering you, take the time to recover, because if you keep running on it, it's going to get worse. Improving health. It's also improving mental health of, again, focusing on positive, affirming thoughts of love and of compassion and of having faith in yourself and having belief in yourself instead of the doubt that causes self-sabotage. Improving health. And it also goes to taking the time to eat well, to get enough sleep, to drink enough water, to really feeding your body and taking care of the physical nature of that, the mental, physical, and emotional health, whatever it may be for you, is take the time to think about getting to your healthiest self. I think that's a great message for the week, which is if it means drinking a little bit more water or going to bed an hour earlier or going outside and getting fresh air and exercising and just limiting and showing moderation for the things maybe that the French fries or the things that are probably not so good for your body. But improving health. And I would say also, as your health improves, be grateful and be thankful for it. And to just keep it always centered in your mind, which is, your health is your greatest wealth. That is the most important thing in life. And when you don't have good health, it's a struggle. And, the world goes on around, the world just keeps on marching. And sometimes there's the sick world, and then there's the healthy world. And so when you're in that sick world, it's hard to, people don't understand because it's your journey, it's your path of what you've been going through. And so as health improves, I think it gives you a really greater perspective that, you could have all the money, you can have all the time in the world, but if you don't have your health, then that's a tricky thing to have to face. So improving health for those that are healing. I'm sending you positive, healing, loving thoughts for you to feel better and to feel more powerful from within. So let's get a sense of a practice area for the week. And these are, which cards? I think that these are the guidance goddess cards or something. I'll put it in my link. Okay, what messages can we read to practice? Divine passion. Be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? Beautiful card. And looks like Pele. Think about what makes you happy. Think about what's going to be fulfilling. If you're, if this is something that you don't think you can make a living from, try to incorporate it as a hobby, just to give yourself a sense of release and to give you yourself a sense of purpose that you really enjoy golf. You're just crazy about playing golf. So when you can, devote some hours to it, and it'll satisfy the part of the pie chart of your life where it's work, family, love, relationships, taxes, golf. Get the golf in there. So when you're able to do what brings you passion, then it makes you happier. And finding what it is, it really opens up expression, your personal expression. And it's always so interesting, you know, when you meet people, new people at work or wherever they are, and you get a sense of what they do away from the office or away from school or away from wherever it may be. And it's like, wow, that's really awesome. And it's fulfilling to you, finding your passion, finding your purpose. Do what your heart is telling you to do. I love this. What is your heart's true desire? You know, go forth and do it. And finally, I'd like to pull a overarching card theme, something else just to think about and to contemplate and to meditate, and we'll get a sense of what energies for the upcoming week. This is the Soul Trees Oracle. Again, a very similar message. Live from your heart. Live from your heart. So I would say that there's a lot of heart within this reading for the week, which is to focus on your heart, from the High Lady of Compassion, Love and Compassion, which is being kind and considerate and empathetic to the highest degree possible, and being positive to others, and to showing reverence for life. To your heart gets a little hurt when you self-sabotage and when you block yourself from following your divine passion or your dreams. So the heart here of what's your heart's truest desire. Live from your heart. I love the connection here in this thread that is going through this week. Oops, let me get this out. And improving health, improving heart health, improving your soul, your head, everything. Getting to a healthier place so that you're able to live your heart's desire. So I think this is a lovely spread for the week. And the big takeaway for me is to listen to my heart, to try to be kind and considerate and loving to all that I meet, and to have reverence for the environment, for life, for the people who make my life better, my family, my friends, my students, all of those aspects. So I wish you much good health and many blessings for the upcoming week. And I hope you're happy and that you have just a very wonderful week that puts a smile on your face. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And if you enjoyed it, please like, share, or comment. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. It's a great way to show support and to give me a sense that you enjoy these readings. And I thank you so much for taking your time, and I'll see you again next week. Take care. Bye-bye.